in pro stock, where it'll be the pride of Kermit, West Virginia, Doug Kirk, up against Tommy Mooney, the only winner in pro stock thus far this year. He picked up the trophy at Darlington, South Carolina a month ago. Hopes to make it 2 straight now from Shelby, North Carolina.
It's the battle of the mountain motors. Kirk running a 689 cubic inch Chevrolet in his Chevy. Tommy Mooney running a 742 cubic inch Pontiac in that Trans Am.
Kirk has definitely had the tougher road to get here. He has knocked off Morris Johnson and Harold Denton. A much easier road for Mooney. Getting a little squirrely off the starting line. A great drag race there side by side past the halfway mark. And Mooney just pulls it out by half a car length.
Oh, just barely nipped him. 752, 187 miles per hour. Let's look at the finish again just to show you how close it was. Look at that.
Well, we'll make this a habit.
It's getting to be a regular thing. 1990 has seen only one pro stock winner in IHRA racing, and that's you, my friend. 752 to a 762. I might add it was only 400ths at the finish line due to a slight hole shot, but you got around him.
Well, I knew Doug. I figured he'd leave on me, and all I could do just hope this big motor's something fixed, just going around him around there. You know, this Trans Am, it's done perfect all day. This thing's got to be for the Willifords, man.
You always thank all your sponsors, but you never say anything about the chassis builder on this thing.
Well, he does all right, too, I guess.
A Tommy Mooney chassis with a Tommy Mooney driver.
All right, we move on to the finals in Top Fuel. We had 8 cars in this field, 8 different chassis, and 5 different engine combinations. They are not alike by any means, and we will watch as John Carey takes on Jack Ostrander. This should be a drag race.
Well, Carey said he needed a 530 to win this thing. Ostrander ran a 552 in the most previous round. Carey ran a 540. So if Carey runs the 530, he can win it, but I don't think it's going to take a 30, Bob.
Well, between the track and the weather conditions, these guys have really had their hands full. Good start. Ostrander with the early lead. Can he hold it? No. Carey. Boy, we'll have to see that one again.
546, 262. We've got to look at it one more time. They're nearly even at the finish line, and you can see Carey. It's going to be a win by less than 12 inches.
Nobody did. Did you believe it was 4,000ths of a second between the two of you in the lights? I got to admit, you got murdered on the starting line, but 546 to 554, you won.
Well, Jack's always tough on the lights, you know, but the car really pulled strong in the center of the track, and I seen I was gaining on him, and I didn't know it. It was so close at the finish line, I didn't know.
Jack said he didn't see you until the first light. He said, and there you were, but it was 4,000ths of a second between the two of you. You just got around him, but congratulations. It's good to see you back in the winner's circle.
It's good to be here.
And we move on to the final in Nitro Funny Cars, where Doc Holliday will go up against young Casey Spurlock.
You know, the doctor hasn't been running all that fast, but the doctor has a lot of experience, and we've seen him in finals before here on the IHRA coverage.
You saw a quick look there at a sort of lime green decal on the side of Casey Spurlock's car, a tribute to injured racer Darrell Gwynn, still in a hospital in Miami, Florida.
Holliday ran a 577 in the last round. Spurlock a 554.
Red light. The doctor is out. He red lights off the line, and Casey Spurlock picks up an easy first IHRA victory.
And he wins it with a 565. Not that impressive. Holliday took a shot on the tree. He knew Spurlock had him covered. He left and tried to guess it, and he lost.
I had to try you. I know.
I don't know if you saw the red light. Doc pushed her tight, but a 565 again, still in the heat and humidity. Just absolute domination of this thing.
Tell you what, Brett, these guys have done just a fantastic job, and I didn't think I was late on the light, and I saw Doc so far ahead of me. I pretty much knew he had guessed on the light, and I went ahead and chased him down anyway just to be sure. And you know, these guys just did a great job this weekend. I can't give Ronnie Swearingen and all my crew, you know, enough credit for this deal. They've really done an excellent job on what was a very tricky track.
I got to ask you, after the 554 in the semis, which was so incredible and obviously borderline on this track, did you back it down for that 60, or did you shut her off early?
Well, we backed it down just a little bit. You know, the weather was coming to us a little bit. We didn't want to go out there and be too hot and risk blowing the tires off, so we did back the car down a little bit. And I think that's just about all it would have taken. It was hazing the tires pretty bad down there, so I think that was about all it would have taken.
Well, it certainly hasn't been a weekend for records on the racetrack, given the traction conditions and the warm and humid weather. But we certainly have had records here at Bristol. 698 entries, over 57,000 fans. We'll be back to Thunder Valley in just a moment. Back at Bristol, Tennessee, where a great afternoon of drag racing has come to a close. Certainly nobody sums things up better than Brett Kepner.
Well, gentlemen, at this event, we saw several different changes. We saw the return of a veteran into the winner's circle in Top Fuel in John Kerry's tremendous run in the final round. Indeed, a 4,000th of a second win in Top Fuel is as close as it comes. In Funny Car Eliminator, we saw a brand new entry into IHRA competition win convincingly. Casey Spurlock's Ford Probe did the job, especially with a 5.54 second elapsed time in the semis. That truly was one of the most unbelievable runs of this event. And then in Pro Stock Eliminator, Tommy Mooney, who's been a chassis builder for so long, nobody really remembered that he was a great driver. And man, has he proved it. 2 straight wins, a huge World Championship points lead. Believe me when I tell you that he is going to be nearly impossible to beat throughout the rest of the 1990 season. A great race all the way around. As always, the Spring Nationals present the absolute best in championship drag racing. The 26th annual edition was no different. We've got a lot more drag racing on ESPN this year, though, and we'll be there as always. Back to you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks very much, Brett. Speaking of points, Ted, take us through them.
Richard Holcomb still on top, barely as Ostrander tries to catch it. John Kerry moves into third with his win. Chuck Etchells to a commanding lead over the Doctor and Jerry Caminito. Tommy Mooney builds almost an insurmountable lead. Harold Denton's party time close behind.
Our next ESPN telecast of IHRA drag racing will feature the new Pro Modified class from the Tosti Asti Spumani Gateway Nationals Friday, July 6th at 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, get out your pencils and postcards and get ready for the IHRA secret race word, and you too can win a totally restored 1957 Chevy from Danchuk Manufacturing in California. 1 entry per family, per show, and we'll select the winner from all the correct entries in January of 1991. It is a beautiful car. For more information on the rules of the game, call area code 714-751-1957. Here is the secret word for today: stock. Stock. Write that on a postcard and send it to us at IHRA Race Word, Box 3029, Bristol, Tennessee 37625. And good luck to everyone. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Spring Nationals has been brought to you by Firestone, tires that meet the test. By Wagner, power painting that's not just a whole lot faster, but a whole lot better. And by CarQuest Auto Parts Stores. You'll find it at CarQuest. I'm Bob Varsha. For Ted Jones and Brett Kepner, thanks for being with us. One more look at our champions. Tommy Mooney scoring his 2nd straight victory in Pro Stock, beating Doug Kirk. In Top Fuel, John Kerry came through with a great top-end charge to beat Jack Ostrander by a foot. And perhaps the biggest victory of all for young Casey Spurlock from Nashville, Tennessee, in front of a home state crowd, just nipping the Doctor who red-lighted. Thanks for being with us, folks. Congratulations to Casey and all our winners. So long from Bristol, Tennessee.